Number 2, C-Fennell, full-back Marcus Redmond, and number 4, Nicholas Down. Half-back line and team captain, number 5, Killian Kelly, number 6, Cormac White, and number 7, Colin C-Fennell. Midfield wearing number 8, James Jackson, and number 9, Rowan Murray. Half-forward line wearing number 10, Brian Fitzpatrick, number 11, John Lennon, and number 12, Colin Poole. Full forward line, number 13, Joseph Shelley, number 14, Mark Dunn, and number 15, Rory C-Fennell. The Bracknagh Leinster Final, number 1, Kyo. Full back line, number 2, Dave Costello, full back, Darren Groom, and number 4, Emmett Egan. Half back line, wearing number 5, team captain, Anthony Cunningham, number 6, Jim Hendy, and number 7, William Dowling. Midfield, number 8, Peter Cunningham, number 9, Jason Dempsey. Half forward line, wearing number 10, Jimmy Sheridan, number 11, Joe Costello, and number 12, Robin Conrad. Full forward line, 13, Kieran McNeilis, number 18, Glenn Burton, and number 15, Robert Barry. Your match referee is Stephen Murphy from now. Standby referee is Dara Shepherd Dublin, and linesman Gary Hurley from Westminster.
These teams coming in here, there hasn't been an Offaly or a Laois winner of this championship since Park Rathniska back in 2006. So a new name to go on the Leinster Junior Cup here this afternoon in O'Connor Park in Tullamore. As the referee then, Stephen Murphy, looks to his umpires. They're ready, they're in place, and he touched the watches and then throws in the ball, and in the middle of the field, knocking it straight down, was Mark Dunn there, giving it off to his midfield partner, Ronan Murray. Mark, I'm sure, will make advances then further forward up the field. But this ball is Rosenallis is now in their white and their green sash, playing the ball, looking for movement in the forward position, looking for Brian Fitzpatrick in there, but it's turned over by Bracknagh, and Jason Dempsey gives it off to William Downing, then goes on the return, and he's into the Park Avenue end of the field and crossing from the 65 to 45, given to Peter Cunningham, man that knows these goalposts, I've said quite frequently, dropping the ball in. It's a dangerous ball, and having to come out and catch it was Barry Farrell, being tracked all the way there. Glenn Burton was keeping his eye on the ball, but Rosenallis have that. It was a dropping ball on the edge of the square, and Rosenallis then through the hands now with wing back here, Killian Kalali, playing it across. It was a bit of a high ball, but it's picked up by Brian Fitzpatrick, and it's held on to there now by John Lennon. Famous name famous around Rosenallis at the moment. Rosenallis, of course, attacking Leinster opportunities on both fronts with the junior hurling semi-final next weekend. About 9 of those lads involved on both panels here as the Cunningham brothers link up, and it's the older one, Anthony, the captain, moving forward. The two number 5s on both sides are the captains here today, and it's the Bracknagh number 5 that has it, giving it across field here to Joe Costello. Costello about 50 yards out, giving it to Peter Cunningham. Cunningham right foot of ball into the corner looking for Burton, but Burton is being well tracked there by Marcus Redmond, and it's a foul on Redmond, and it's going to be a free out. Burton's not happy, but the referee saying you held his arm, and I think there's no doubt about that. Stephen Murphy got that one right, and the free taken by John Lennon, who's back helping out his full back line at the moment, into the hands of Redmond. Redmond a bit close then to Gillally, but gives it off the hand pass and goes for the return 50 yards out. It's a very tight, and it's a tussle coming in there from Anthony Cunningham, but racing up the field and the pull of the jersey on Joseph Shelley, and the referee is calling back the Bracknagh man, is it? And just looking to book him here, and if he's not careful here, Anthony Cunningham, if by the rules of the law, it could be a black card scenario. If that he judges it to be a third man tackle, and Joseph Shelley is still on the ground here, receiving attention. The referee though is deciding to give him a yellow card to Anthony Cunningham, and I don't know what he would have judged that to be a yellow card for. So it should have been a bit more, and there was a yellow card offence committed by William Downing, but the referee allowing the play to go on because Rosenallis under attack. Mark Dunn, and then Mark Dunn is hit by the side there by Peter Cunningham. That didn't look like a fair challenge, and then he does Mark Dunn for over-carrying the ball. Cunningham and his brother, the two Cunninghams, Anthony and Peter, and robust challenges, but one has picked up a yellow card, possibly could have been leaning towards a different colour. As moving forward though, our Bracknagh in the hands of Robin Galbraith. Galbraith giving it off here now. Movement in the Bracknagh half-forward line from Jamie Sheridan. Sheridan going backwards. Bracknagh, of course, in their Tipperary colours. Giving the ball off over on the far side now. Going to be a shot at the post here for the first time, really, from a Bracknagh man. And it's gone out to the right and wide. Just looking to pick it up. It was centre-forward Joe Costello that had that shot. So, first shot in anger at the post coming from Bracknagh. 3 minutes gone here, no score. On Midlands 103 here this afternoon. Live from O'Connor Park in Tullamore. The first provincial final in Leinster, and it's the Junior Football Championship final. Rosenallis then coming out with this ball and losing it, touched it on the ground. I thought John Lennon there, but the referee allowing the play to go on as Bracknagh turn it over. There could be an opportunity here, but it's a loose pass there from Kieran McNeilis with the hand trying to find his opposite corner with Robin Barron, but it's coming out with the ball. Killian Gillally. Gillally gets a shout further out from C-Fennell. Fennell trying to get away from the attentions there, and the referee says it was a pull of the jersey. And Stephen Murphy awarding a free into Rosenallis as they attack the Arden Road end, and it's picked up by number 10 Brian Fitzpatrick, playing a bit closer to goal than the number 10 allows on the jersey as such. He gets away from the attentions there. Dave Costello and William Downing going up along the hospital side of the ground here. Ball is with Rosenallis, slipping and sliding. As you can imagine, I'd say there's still a bit of frost on the grass. Heavy frost across the country last night, and even some snow falling in certain areas as the ball is in the hands now of Rosenallis. Standing on the Arden Road, 65 is number 15, Robert Barron. Barron giving it off here to the number 6, Jim Hendy, trying to play it in and look for some movement out of John Lennon there. But it's Rosenallis to turn it over and giving it off here now to Brian Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick sitting on top of the D, giving it to Colin Poole. Poole getting inside the D, looking to get away, looked over, carried the ball. The referee allowed the play to go on. It's a shot from Fitzpatrick dropping in, and is it high? Is it handsome? But it is high and handsome, but it's gone to the left and wide, and it's one wide apiece there. So one wide apiece, and the scoreboard's still not troubled. The umpires are the only ones that have been troubled so far. So cold day here in O'Connor Park in Tullamore. Thankfully, myself and Will are inside here, sitting beside a nice warm radiator, but the players outside trying to entertain the crowd. And I suppose a reasonable crowd for the two rural areas of Bracknagh and Rosenallis. As Bracknagh come on this ball now, up along this side of the field is Dave Costello. Costello throwing back into Jim Hendy. Hendy elects to go right-footed, but it's well read back there by John Lennon. Lennon coming out now and carrying this ball and moving forward well. Has been on a lot of ball in the early stages of this game. Only 5.5 minutes old. In he goes to Mark Dunn. Dunn is a shout outside, but drops the ball. Has to pick it up. The former, of course, man that played football with the Road and the Rock and played with Laois and Offaly as well. Back with his home club of Rosenallis. Looking to move forward on this ball now. Falls to the ground, looking to throw the ball back, but the referee says his arm was pulled back as he went to hand pass it back there to Joseph Shelley, and it's going to be a free in and a chance for Rosenallis then, just slightly off the top of the D, as Dunn getting a little bit of attention. So it's Poole then, it looks like he's going to take this, and kicks away a little bit of dirt that has kicked itself up. But O'Connor Park showing well for the middle of November. Of course, it is the 19th of November here, and this AIB Leinster Club Junior semi-football final, I should say, has seen Colin Poole not connect with it really well, and it's caught by Keith Keogh under his crossbar, and he moves it out through the hands here now as Bracknagh look to come from the back, and it's Cunningham that plays it over here to this side of the field to Robin Galbraith. That's Anthony Cunningham picking it up now and looking to get it back to Galbraith as he gets away from the opposite number 12 Poole, and moving it forward now into the hands of Jason Dempsey. Dempsey looking to give it further on, and it's on to his midfield partner Peter Cunningham into the Park Avenue end. It's it off the post, and it's fallen down into the hands possibly of Kieran McNeilis. McNeilis though lets a fall from his grasp, and Rosenallis are there in numbers with Killian Galali looking to get through, and the referee allowing him to take the free but not allowing him to take it quickly. And I don't know why he didn't allow him to keep moving there and giving it off to C-Fennell, but the referee has actually said that, hold on, there's a foul over here, or an injury over here to John Lennon, and I just have to slip out around the girder here to see, and he's up on his feet anyway, John Lennon, very important man here to the Rosenallis team, and it looks like Rosenallis dropping a man back, playing a two-man full forward line at the moment. One of their men in the forward's been double marked, so that's the way Rosenallis are approaching this Bracknagh unit, who've hit some high scores in the Leinster Championship. Ball then is Rosenallis into the hands of Barry Farrell, and he gives it off to John Lennon. Lennon up into the corner looking for Poole. Poole out in front of William Downing. Has to come back out though to his own 65 to maintain control. Crosses the halfway line and then into the Bracknagh half, and moves it on here into the hands of Rory Fennell. Fennell, big man coming forward now, looking to offload. The referee says he was pulled back, and it's another free in and a better chance here maybe for Poole. It's the same distance, but it's a bit more central. And in fact, it looks like it's going to be James Jackson, I think. Hard to make out the black numbers on the green sash. Again, I wonder about kit manufacturers getting a message on that from distance. It's very hard to see, but it looks like James Jackson anyway. Just about make the top of the number. And into the Arden Road end. Has he an opportunity to put Rosenallis in front? And that he has, and it's the first score of the game. And it comes from James Jackson, coming up on 9 minutes gone. It's a free. And it's just, I think, what Rosenallis deserved. They've started the brighter here. And ball has gone over the bar there. So opportunity then to move out here with Bracknagh then coming forward. Looks like it's Dave Costello, and Costello has been hit high there by number 8, James Jackson. And Jackson's going to be talked to there by Stephen Murphy. And he kind of was a bit unfortunate. There's a bit of a height difference in the two men, and Costello ducked his head, and it's a yellow card. And it's one of those harsh yellow cards, but Jackson has been given it anyway by Stephen Murphy here, and it's a quick free taken by Bracknagh then over to Jason Dempsey. Dempsey then giving the ball back out here to Joe Costello. Costello on the Rosenallis 45 into the Park Avenue end in. Moving the ball on to Dave Costello, his brother, giving it off then to number 15, Robert Barron. Barron shoots, but it's a punch clearance by Barry Farrell in the Rosenallis goal. It's fallen to Brereton over to the left-hand side of the Park Avenue goal, so it goes back to William Downing. Downing comes out around the 13 metre line out to the 20 metre line, giving it off here then. An opportunity for Joe Costello looking to settle on his left foot. He puts it in and he puts it over the bar, and that's a good manufactured score from Bracknagh. Good score from Joe Costello. 10 minutes gone here and it's level. So a point apiece then, and Barry Farrell takes his first kick out from a score. He's already kicked out one from a wide. Coming into the hands now with John Lennon. Lennon, fittingly enough, John Lennon playing at the moment on Midlands 103 radio, but you can pick us up here on Mixlr with John Lennon on the field of play. Has moved this ball forward and given it to Rory Fennell. Fennell looking inside. Didn't give it off though, but got a nice little solo in tight quarters. Probably wouldn't be advised by many a coach to do so, but he gives it back here to Poole. Colin Poole looking around him, looking to jink and jive, settling on his left-hand side. Ball goes all the way back to the middle of the field, right on the halfway line. And it's picked up with a bit of a run here from C-Fennell. Cahill, though, was about to release the ball, and the referee spotted a foul inside, and a chance for Rosenallis again to take this. And again, it's looks like number 8 on the back of the jersey. So the shaven head here of James Jackson taking this on the 13-metre line. So a foul inside on, looks like, a Joseph Shelley. Comes around the house a little bit and just about gets it over the crossbar from 13 metres out. But it is over the bar from the man wearing number 8. That's James Jackson. And after 12 minutes, he has Rosenallis in front by 2 points to 1. So Rosenallis not overawed by what Bracknagh might be throwing at them here. Bracknagh, many people's favourites for this. Ball goes over to the far side where Rosenallis man gets a hand on it, but it's picked up by William Dowling. Dowling coming across the field now for Bracknagh, looking to offload this ball. A lovely little chip lift towards Robin Galbraith. Galbraith, though, had a bit of attention from C-Fennell, but he skips away from one of the 3 Fennell brothers on the Rosenallis team here today. And it's moving forward with it. Joe Costello out here to Robert Byrne. Already had a shot at the post. An opportunity there for Jamie Sheridan, but it's blocked down by Rosenallis' hand, and it's picked up rather easily back there by John Lennon. Lennon giving it off here now to Killian Gallally, the captain, being tracked all the way. Throws it inside back to Lennon. Lennon pirouettes lovely out of the tackle there from Jason Dempsey. Looking to get inside was Gallally. Gallally surely pushed to the ground, and then the referee says illegal hand pass, but there was a Bracknagh hand into the chest of Gallally. And anyway, it's a free, says the referee, because of an illegal hand pass. And it's William Dowling that gets it across all the way to Emmett Gagan. Gagan, left-footed ball up along the wing, looking for Jamie Sheridan. Sheridan using his body well to get away from C-Fennell. Looking to throw it inside. Giving it here to Anthony Cunningham. Cunningham back out, but it's turned over by Rosenallis, doing that quite well. Lovely little solo out of a bit of trouble here by one of the Fennells. Just looking to pick him up on the number, but it's into the corner anywhere. James Jackson eventually picks it up at the second time of asking, getting away from the attentions of Darren Groom, who's all over his back of his jersey at the moment anyway. Ball goes back out here from Rosenallis to Joseph Shelley. Shelley into the corner now, where the cornerback C-Fennell is marauding forward. Gives it back to Shelley. Shelley all the way back out here to Rory Fennell. Rory inside the Pool. Pool looking for a run. Settle on the ball, right-footed then is Ronan Murray. Ronan inside. Looking to skip around a bit of attention here. Bracknagh setting up a bit of a wall, but maintaining possession is Rosenallis. Brian Fitzpatrick, here's Dunn inside in the 20-metre line. Looking to offload it. Murray getting it in further. It's Jackson inside. It's in the net for Rosenallis. It's in the net for Rosenallis. James Jackson with the goal. Patient build-up from Rosenallis all the way. Went through the hands of a couple of Fennells. Fiacre and Rory and Joseph Shelley then ball on to Ronan Murray and Mark Dunn. Mark Dunn was 20 metres out, give it to Ronan Murray, who was on the 13-metre line, and he could have went for the score, but he saw James Jackson all on his own on the edge of the square, hand pass inside, and he barely scuttered it with the, I'd say the bottom of the boot, the studs I'd say knocked it to the net. He just mishit it, but it went to the back of the net. A goal for James Jackson, and he's the man with all the scores here for Rosenallis. And after 15 minutes gone, it's 1-2 to a point, and it's Bracknagh on the way with an attack, but they've put the ball badly to the right and wide, and Bracknagh just not at the races here at the moment. And Rosenallis, though, the ones in form in the opening quarter, 1-2 to a point, they lead. And good bit of play there by Rosenallis to set things up. So, an opportunity then to kick out here for Barry Farrell. And Farrell then taking his time here. Looking, John Lennon is the man that's going deep for this, but could be an opportunity here to give it to Gallally. Gallally, the ball has been turned over. Bracknagh then have an advantage here. Opportunity. It's Joe Costello going back out here to Glenn Burton. Burton giving it off to Jamie Sheridan. Sheridan, right-footed ball, dropping it high. Ball has just gone to the right and wide here for Bracknagh. It's 1-2 to a point. 16 minutes gone. Just moments ago, the goal, a very well worked goal from Rosenallis, who have started very, very well in this game. Not overawed by the fact that they're possibly the underdogs in this final here this afternoon at Connor Park in Tullamore, just up the road from you. Fittingly enough, you were playing John Lennon there moments ago. Well, John Lennon is on the field for Rosenallis, wearing number 11, and he's all over the field at the moment, being part of everything that's been good about Rosenallis. He was involved in getting the move going that got the ball up the field to see Joseph Shelley offloaded to C-Fennell, who came all the way up from the right corner back position. He gave it inside then to Ronan Murray. Ronan Murray spotted inside Mark Dunn. Mark Dunn 1-2 interchange with him, and then he offloaded to James Jackson, who was on the edge of the square, and with Keith Keogh advancing, he just scuttered it beyond him. I said he didn't make clean possession in commentary. We said we didn't make clean possession with the ball, but he got it to the back of the net anyway. 1-2 to a point. But Bracknagh just out of sorts, it would seem, out there, just can't handle Rosenallis at the moment, being able to maintain possession of the ball, and they've done it at close quarters. But Bracknagh have turned over the ball here. Just maybe stick with this and see what might happen of it. It's inside the Rosenallis part of the field and trying to move the ball forward with Jim Hendy. With the referee, Stephen Murphy, has vowed that it's fouled by Bracknagh, and it's going to be Rosenallis who will build on the attack with Mark Dunn back helping out his half-backs at the moment. So 17 minutes gone here in the AIB Leinster Club Junior Football Championship final between Laois and Offaly team. It'll be the first Laois or Offaly team to win since Park Rathniska won the title back in 2006, if they're to claim the title here today. But it is Rosenallis who are in favourable front at the moment. 17.5 minutes gone. Rosenallis 1-2, Bracknagh a point. So we're on the move again now with Bracknagh's Kieran McNeilis. He's been hooshed out over the line by the centre-back Rosenallis, Cormac White, but the referee says it was in the chest, and it's on the move with Anthony Cunningham. Cunningham looking to play it long, but ball is going to be cut out by Rosenallis. It falls off the foot of Jamie Sheridan. He tried to get in there, but it's Rosenallis to pick it up and they're building from the back. Rosenallis just taking it out of the way of the danger men for Bracknagh, and that's where some of the problems are for Bracknagh at the moment. They're just not getting into this game because some of their main men are not able to get their hands on the ball, and John Lennon carries it to the halfway line and then decides, I've done my job here, Poole, take it the rest of the way, and Colin Poole has offloaded and given it over here to Brian Fitzpatrick. Rosenallis into the Arden Road end, then looking to get out around Emmet Gagan. Oh, lovely little chip ball inside, but it's cut out there. But Bracknagh have possession of the ball, and it's a foul by the Rosenallis. Attention there coming in from Ronan Murray, and Bracknagh are able to build out now from the back with it looks like they're centre-back Jim Hendy giving the ball off here now to Joe Costello. He's the only man that has scored for Bracknagh here so far. He's standing on his own 65, gives it to Peter Cunningham. Cunningham loves to attack, of course, on this O'Connor Park pitch that he would have trained many times, played many a game for. Left-footed ball, driving it in. It's a dangerous ball. It could go over the head. Burton knocks it down, but it's picked up by the Rosenallis full back liner back there. And there's Lennon again, wearing 11, but he's playing as maybe a second full back at the moment, protecting that goal of Barry Farrell's. And Rosenallis are doing this quite well. It's obviously a plan that works very, very well for them. If they haven't used it previously in the Leinster Championship, well, they're using it to good effect here today. Must be something that's been definitely well coached at training, as C-Fennell comes forward, giving it to Poole. Poole advancing on his left hand side. Fennell is inside him if he wants it, but he elects to go for the score. It'd be a cracking score if it goes, oh, that's a fabulous score from Rosenallis, turning it over, and within 6 passes have the ball over the bar at the far end. Colin Poole with the score. 19.5 minutes gone, and Rosenallis stretching the lead here now, 1-3 to a point. And on these winter conditions, and on a pitch that, have to say, is in fine fettle, but in winter conditions, with the cold and everything, you know, if you can build up a lead, it's going to be hard for it to be reined back in. Guys with gloves maybe that they don't normally wear, and even the gear a little bit different, as the referee Stephen Murphy has spotted a foul over on the far side. Bracknagh's number 10, Jamie Sheridan, fouled by Nicholas Dunn, and it's going to be a free about 55 metres out, about 10 in from the far sideline. Peter Cunningham takes it quickly, giving it to Dave Costello. Costello crosses onto the Rosenallis 45, gets a shout from Anthony Cunningham. The Cunninghams and Costello linking up, driving it in. Burton's underneath it again. A bit of a miss pass there in trying to get it out from Rosenallis, but they do it through the hands, and it's Mark Dunn back helping out, and he gives it over here to Joseph Shelley. Shelley now being told to go down along the stand side. Here he goes, trying to get away from the tensions of Jason Dempsey. Ball falls from his grasp, but he has a bit of help if he wants it. But a Bracknagh man, it looks like the boot of Robin Galbraith knocks it out over the sideline, and it's going to be Shelley that may leave this to somebody else, but he elects no, he's going to take the sideline right on the 60 Bracknagh 65, but it's well read there by Anthony Cunningham. A little bit too much air on it in some ways from Shelley, but it's been cut out by Rosenallis in their half back line, picked up there well by Cormac White. White giving it out here to Mark Dunn, lets it go through his hands. A man of course would have played on this pitch with Offaly and with Road as well, coming forward on the ball now. Solos on the right and on the left, and then a lovely little shape to the right and giving it off here to centre back Cormac White. White looking to advance forward, giving it back to Dunn. Dunn though wasn't expecting it, and he let it through his grasp, and it's going to be Gaig, and it's going to build out from the back from Bracknagh's point of view. Giving it over to the dressing room entrance nearly. It's picked up by Joe Costello. Costello looking to come in on his right hand side, kick the point with his left, giving it back to Cunningham. Cunningham looking to jink and jive and getting away here from the attentions. Looks at one of the Shelleys, and I would imagine it is the biggest of them all, Cahill. Well, Rory, I should say, that's the tallest of them all, and the referee says that he committed a foul, harmless enough maybe in some ways, and it looks like it's going to be a yellow card here. Stephen Murphy, in some cases, been over officious, and probably in the first part of the game should have given a black card to Anthony Cunningham, but booked him for a third man tackle. But it's a free, and it's only a ticking for Rory Fennell. It's a short free, taken by Glenn Burton on the 45, onto the top of the D. Settle on his left-hand side, dropping it in, but he's pulled it to the right and wide. 3 wides for Bracknagh, and they just can't get inside the scoring zone. Rosenallis have set up quite well there. I wouldn't say they're ultra defensive, but have an extra man back there, but they do attack in numbers as well. So obviously trust their own fitness and their ability. Kick out to come then from Barry Farrell. It's Rosenallis 1-3, Bracknagh 2 points, 22.5 minutes gone. Ball one in the middle, and it's Dunn that picks up on the break, and he charges forward, getting away from Robin Galbraith, looking to come inside, gets to the 45-metre line, has Poole outside him, and Murray goes for Murray. Murray looking to come inside, then goes further back out to Fiacre Fennell. Fiacre comes across the field here in O'Connor Park, and not in much of a canter as Colin Poole actually picked that ball up standing still, but moved forward though. He was had no attention around him. Fiacre Fennell looking to advance in the ball, looked to have been fouled there rather harshly by William Dowling, but the referee saw nothing wrong because Rosenallis have maintained the ball. Looking to spray it out here was Mark Dunn. Dunn giving it inside. Jackson looking to win the race to the ball, does so, and looked to have got a push in the back, but nothing, says the referee, came of that, and it's a wide. And Jackson wondering why the referee didn't give him a free. He was going down on the ball. There was definitely 2 hands on his back from Dave Costello, but the referee didn't give the free in, and Rosenallis maintained out that they're still in front. 23 minutes gone, 1-3 to a point. Kick out to come from Keith Keogh. Went to kick it one way, it looked like, and then kicked it to Darren Groom in front of him, and a bit of a chip lift, though. Nearly got himself caught out with Joseph Shelley in on the back of Darren Groom, but it's Bracknagh through Jim Hendy that have won a free on their own 45, giving it to the 65 where it's picked up by Joe Costello. Costello has Peter Cunningham running looking to get away from the attentions of Rory Fennell. Gets to the 45 and comes inside, going for the long shot. Peter Cunningham driving it in, but it's going to tail, is it? No. Is it kept in play? No, it isn't, by corner forward Kieran McNeilis, and it's another wide for Bracknagh. 4 wides in all, and those long shots are not working for Bracknagh. Very little of wind here, so I don't know why Bracknagh are insisting on kicking the ball in long. Maybe it's because nothing's happening for them inside, but their accuracy has been off. Dead wind here today. So, perfect day for football in ways, and no sun out there. It is off in the distance, but it's just adding a bit of brightness. It's definitely not affecting the play. So, other than it's cold, it's good conditions for football here. As Rosenallis come forward at 1-3 to a point, 24.5 minutes gone in the hands of number 7, Cahill Fennell. Giving it off to Killian Galali. Galali, here's from Murray. Murray, who set up Jackson for the goal, looking to find Jackson, but it's cut out back there. And Jackson's pleading with Ronan Murray, why did you kick in that kind of ball? Because it was a more of a 60-40, even a 70-30 ball. He was expecting Jackson to win. And Rosenallis now don't need to stop doing what they've been doing well in kicking the ball away. But it's Robin Galbraith that's on the ball for Bracknagh. Throws it back out here. On the Rosenallis 65 is Anthony Cunningham, giving it in field to Jason Dempsey. Crosses onto the Rosenallis 45 and gets to the top of the D, looking to offload it, trying to give it in there to Robert Byrne. Byrne was hit hard, but he gets up and moves the ball and kicks it over the bar. And in fairness to Robert Byrne, that was a tough score to kick, even though it was only from 25 metres out, because he was just after being hit so hard. But in fairness, he shook it off and kicked it over the bar with his right foot, and it's just what Bracknagh needed. 1-3 to 2 points, 25.5 minutes gone. Rosenallis, though, will be kicking themselves that they kicked that ball away rather needlessly. And it has been turned over and kicked over the bar by Bracknagh. Kick out comes from Barry Farrell, kind of scuffed it and kicking it out. Still got it to 45 metres, but didn't really suit the men out in the middle. Trying to go down, that ball was Mark Dunn, and just as he put his hands on the ball, Robin Galbraith came in with his foot, and Dunn is just shaking off the kick to the hand. I'm sure a little bit more painful, especially when it's cold. But John Lennon is on the ball. Dunn waves away the physio, says he doesn't need her. As he gets the pass from Lennon. Lennon cuts into the middle of the field, getting away rather easy from Jason Dempsey. Then gets away from Cunningham by offloading the ball here to Fennell. It's Rory Fennell looking to come forward, but Jason Dempsey continues to run. Oh, Fennell is still going. There's an opportunity for Jackson again. Oh, just in time there was Anthony Cunningham. It was a very important tussle. Jackson was just about to get his hands on the ball. Cunningham got in, flicked it off him, and I think flicked it off his arm as well, because it's counted as a Rosenallis wide. But I'm sure James Jackson was thinking that he was going to get a goal there. It just needed to wrestle in his possession. But in fairness, a great tackle from Anthony Cunningham to flick it out of his hand and off his arm and out for a wide. In case you're interested, Man United and Arsenal have drawn at Old Trafford, as the ball is this time in the hands of Jim Hendy. Hendy coming forward now, looking to offload it, giving it to cornerback Dave Costello. Costello giving it back to Peter Cunningham, is on the run, across the 45, settling on the top of the D. Looked to have taken about 6 steps, sends the ball though towards the Park Avenue end, and it's between the posts, and that's a good score from Peter Cunningham. Cunningham then with the score in 27 minutes, and it's a bit better from Bracknagh in the last couple of minutes. 1-3 then, just that goal between them. Kick out to come then from Barry Farrell. It's the AIB Leinster Club Junior Football Championship Final. Rosenallis have Laois 1-3. Bracknagh Offaly 3 points. 27.5 minutes gone. Mark Dunn out in the middle of the field, flicks on the kick out, but it's all of a sudden Bracknagh seem to have pushed up the field, and Rosenallis have been sucked in a little bit, because Bracknagh is starting to get possession of the ball now out around the middle third of the field, and it's Cunningham Anthony that goes across the field looking for a bit of a run, and it's Joe Costello throwing it in here to Jason Dempsey. Dempsey steps inside the tackle of Mark Dunn, giving it off here now to Robert Byrne that got the second point here for Bracknagh, gives it further off here to centre back Hendy going for the shot, he chips it. The umpires are not sure, but they eventually go for the flag, and it's gone over the bar from Jim Hendy, and all of a sudden a bit of a spur in the step now of Bracknagh. 28 minutes gone, only 2 points down, 3 points in a row. Robert Byrne on 25, Peter Cunningham on 27, Jim Hendy on 28. He kind of kicked it, I think, more in hope than anything else, but it just about did enough. It's just the umpire took a while in deciding, and it must have been tight enough to the post, but eventually it did look like it did go inside the post. So 1-3-4, ball to the middle, broken down by Mark Dunn. Wasn't really expecting it, giving it to Rory Fennell. Might have 15 and 14 on their back respectively, but they're playing out around the middle, giving it inside now to Brian Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick looking to get inside his man Emmett Gagan, and Gagan is quite a tough teak cornerback and pulls him back there, and it's going to be a free in, and something that Bracknagh, or I should say Rosenallis, might need. And over on the far side, it looks like it is Colin Poole that's going to take this with his right foot. So free to come then from Colin Poole, left footed, comes up to this, connects with it well. Oh, that's a great score off the ground, 5 metres in from the sideline, 20 metres out. The angle would have made it more like a 30-metre free, and he put the ball over the bar. Colin Poole with his second point, that one from a free, and it pushes out to 1-4-4, and it's just maybe what Rosenallis needed to just keep the scoreboard in their favour after conceding 3 points in a row. But it's a quick free taken by, or kick out taken by Keith Keogh, gives it to his centre back, or fullback Darren Groom, and Groom made the advance all the way to the halfway line, and then gives it off here to Dave Costello on the 45, giving it to Robert Byrne. A bit more pep in the step now with Bracknagh, outside of the right foot, dangerous ball just to the left and wide from Bracknagh, and I think he was going for the score, but it could have turned into a pass, as coming in was Jamie Sheridan. It just went over the reach of Sheridan and out to the left and wide. It remains 1-4-4, and we're in injury time. There wasn't a whole lot of stoppage, so I think the referee, Stephen Murphy of Louth, has the whistle in the mouth. He's going to call half time here, as the kick out about to come from Barry Farrell out to the middle of the field. The play goes on. Mark Dunn underneath it, and it's him that gets the touch on. Fennell goes up to knock it down, but it's Bracknagh to pick it up with Joe Costello. Costello behind the play, but comes away with it now. Crosses from the 65 to the 45, and he's still going. No Rosenallis man has met him. Anthony Cunningham giving it to his brother Peter. Peter scored one already. Has he scored a second? No, he's pulled it to the right and wide. Bracknagh's worrying side of things will be that the wide count is 6 in this first half. 1-4-4, coming up on 31 gone. And that probably would be the amount of injury time I would have been expecting the referee from St. Martin's Club in allowed Stephen Murphy to play. So Barry Farrell coming out to this then. Kick out comes right-footed, and there is the half-time whistle then, exactly on 31 minutes. 1-4 Rosenallis, 4 points from Bracknagh. And it was everything that Rosenallis started off quite well with. They were the ones that got the opening score of the game. That came after 9 minutes from James Jackson free from 30 metres out, but it was responded straight away by Joe Costa with a point from play from Bracknagh. However, it was Rosenallis then that were to kick on in the next 10 minutes. Another free from James Jackson after he picked up a yellow card, in fact, as well, was then followed by the goal. A goal that was well worked with Rory Fennell involved, along with Joseph Shelley, and then C-Fennell also getting up to help out. Ball was manufactured inside then to Ronan Murray. Ronan Murray spotted the run of Mark Dunn. Dunn gave it back to Murray, and then Murray spotted James Jackson inside on the square, unmarked, and with Keith Keogh advancing, he just scuffed it beyond him to put the ball to the back of the net and put them in the 1-2 to a point lead. They had further points in with Colin Poole on the 20th minute before Bracknagh all of a sudden found a little bit of distance. Points in quick succession. Robert Byrne on 25, Cunningham Peter on 27, and Jim Hendy on 28 narrowed the gap to just 2. But just before half time, a free from Colin Poole, a difficult enough one on the 20-metre line over near the sideline. He put it over the bar to make the half time score here in the AIB Leinster Junior Club Junior Club Football Final. It is Rosenallis 1-4, Bracknagh 4 points. Rejoin us shortly for the second half. Referee, of course, from Louth, Stephen Murphy, one of the up-and-coming officials within the province, being given his first provincial final here this afternoon. He from the St. Martin's Club in Louth, a venue, of course, and a county we will be in next Sunday when Road travel to the Gaelic grounds in Drogheda to take on the Louth surprise package, I suppose, in some ways, Sean O'Mahony's. Sean O'Mahony's, who, of course, were Leinster Intermediate champions a few years ago. But here we go for the second half then. And Stephen Murphy put to throw the ball in. Peter Cunningham makes a run across Mark Dunn here, and Mark Dunn is actually on the wrong side as he flicks the ball down. He could have caught it and elected to flick it down, but he actually gets it at the second time of asking. But the referee should have reset that midfield because Mark Dunn was on the wrong side when he threw the ball in. But anyway, he gets away from Cunningham still. Still Mark Dunn on the ball. He's held on to it now for 15 seconds and he lofts it forward. Looking for Jackson. Jackson knocks it down to himself on the top of the D. This will be a good early start here from Rosenallis, getting through and sliding his way through. A couple of tackles there. Is the cornerback C-Fennell giving it off. And it's gone over the bar from Shelley. Joseph Shelley has put that ball over the bar. Only a goal, but it was up until about 10 seconds ago, Mark, but it's now gone out to 4 points. A quick fire start from Bracknagh, or I should say from Rosenallis. Now one Bracknagh man has touched the ball, touched down by Mark Dunn. Dunn held on to it for a while, gave it off then to the onrushing C-Fennell. He gave it to Joseph Shelley. It was put over the bar, and from the kick out, Rosenallis have got 2 in a row. Colin Poole with the score then has put the ball over the bar. So what a start from Rosenallis. It probably was the start that really Bracknagh were the ones needed to get out and start quite well, but it is Rosenallis have got 2 in a row. Poor kick out from Keith Keogh straight to Colin Poole. He advanced on the ball and with his left foot put the ball over the bar. He has 3 points in the game. So there you go, Mark, at half time 1-4. Bracknagh finishing the stronger. They got 3 points. Robert Byrne, Peter Cunningham and Jim Hendy just before half time. But interestingly enough, I suppose Rosenallis, having been on top for all of that first half, were to kick a point from a free just before half time, and that put them in the goal up. But now they've kicked 2 in the space of a minute and they lead here by 1-6-4. They're on the attack again. Just stay with me. John Lennon on the ball, giving it back here now to Rory Fennell. Might have 15 on his back, but playing out around the middle of the field. His younger brother Fikra might have 2 on his back, but he's definitely playing a good bit further as well. And well, here it looks like it's going to be Peter Cunningham that's going to get a yellow card. He's just fouled Mark Dunn, and the 2 Cunninghams look like they're going to be in the referee's book. So maybe no Christmas cards going from the Cunningham household to the Stephen Murphy, the referee, and yeah, it's a yellow card despite Peter Cunningham's protestations there to the referee. He has been yellow carded. So attention here to Mark Dunn. So I think, Mark, what we'll do is we'll hand back to you. 2 minutes gone in the second half then. Perfect start for Rosenallis. Points from Colin Poole and from Joseph Shelley have them 1-6-4 in front. So ball has in the hands then of Rosenallis after that yellow card there for Peter Cunningham. So what a start for Rosenallis, but a poor kick out from Keith Keogh, setting up Colin Poole to put the ball back over the bar from whence it came. And it looks like Eddie Mather is in the Bracknagh team for Kieran McNeilis. So nothing going for McNeilis today, unfortunately. But here come Rosenallis then with Ronan Murray. Murray hits the deck. No fouls, says the ref. And there's a high challenge from Peter Cunningham. The referee is telling him to calm it down. And if he hadn't got the yellow card, I'd say a minute ago, he might have been getting a yellow card for this one. And he's just telling Peter, calm it down a little bit. And I think Peter's a lucky man there, because maybe more stricter referees might have said, you know, you're deserving of another yellow, and he would have been gone. So Peter's going to have to watch himself now. And it's a free going to be taken here by James Jackson. Already 1-2 to his name. Just off the D. Left-hand post he's in line with here in the Park Avenue end. Rosenallis then off to a perfect start. Could this be 3 points in 3 minutes? He's put it over the bar, and that it is. James Jackson in, bringing his tally on to 1-3. And what a start it has been here to Rosenallis in the second half. And they've opened a gap now that Bracknagh really could have done with closing at 1-4-4. It's now 1-7-4, and it's asking an awful lot of them. Kick-out comes then from Keith Keogh out here looking and winning as well. Robert Barron got above Colin Poole to win that. It was over here on the stand side. In possession of the ball now, standing in the centre-back position. Gives it to Dave Costello. Costello giving it and return pass here. Doing it quite well in fairness with Joe Costello. The brothers linking up. And good understanding between Dave and Joe. Get out of tight quarters and move it forward now to Jason Dempsey. Dempsey getting away from a few tacklers. Throws the ball outside. Looking to settle on this. Robin Galbraith. Galbraith puts it up high. It looks good though. The umpires give the nod. Is it gone for the flag? It is. And that's a good score from Robin Galbraith. But it was the Costellos, a good little bit of intelligent play between the two of them that set him up. Robin Galbraith along with Jason Dempsey involved in the move as well. And they now have narrowed the gap, I suppose, a little bit. But it's still double scores. 1-7-5. Kick out to come then from Barry Farrell. Rosenallis, what a year it has been for them. And reading a great story about them on the GA website yesterday, written by John Harrington, all about how they made a decision back in 2002 to sort things out at the underage level. And in fairness to them as well, improved their facilities out in Rosenallis, and look like now they're inspiring a new generation, and that should all bode well for the next few years in Rosenallis. Going to be competing at a higher level next year, of course, within Laois hurling and Laois football. So Mark Dunn receiving another bit of attention, or is it? No, I should say Rory Fennell it was. And the kick out come then from Barry Farrell, eventually knocked down there by Ronan Murray and picked up though by Bracknagh, and it's Jason Dempsey now giving it off here to Joe Costello. Fairness to Costello, full of running, looking to offload it. Gives it to centre back Jim Hendy. Hendy giving it off then. Going left, going right. Peter Cunningham has to come all the way back out though. 30 metres out, going to shoot into the Arden Road end. Is he dropping it in? It's a dangerous ball. Flick back there by Jamie Sheridan. And it's into the keeper's hands, and Rosenallis come out with it. It lacked a little bit of oomph in it to really trouble the goalie. And Farrell kept his hands on the ball, and the ball has moved forward here. Rosenallis now, a bit of a loose pass, is trying to come forward and win it is Nicholas Dunn, but he spent himself in trying to get forward on that now, and is having difficulty getting back as William Downing kicks the ball forward, looking to give it to Sheridan. No foul, says the referee. I thought it was a fairly robust challenge, but trying to keep possession of it, Jim Hendy here, and the referee eventually decides it was a foul. Ball is kicked forward quickly. Could be an opportunity here. Bracknagh looking to get inside. Burton, it's a good score on my angle. That's over the bar. Barry Farrell was waving wide, but I was directly in line with it. That ball was a good score. Glenn Burton over the bar. 2 scores in quick succession from Bracknagh. Maybe it's all too much for them though to close down that gap. These scores should have been coming before Rosenallis kicked 3 at the start of the second half, but 1-7-6 it is in favour of Rosenallis. So ball is off out behind the wall. No extra ball here for Barry Farrell, so he won't mind. He'll take all the time in the world to take this. He was remonstrating with the umpires for a good 10 seconds that the ball was wide, but no. The Bracknagh bench giving out to the referee about the time wasting on the ball, but not his fault. He can insist that the ball is put in there, but if Bracknagh wanted to move quicker, they should probably supply one. And that looks like what they're going to do with the kick out to come here from Barry Farrell. 1-7-6 then. Ball is out to the middle where Jim Hendy gets his hands on it, but it's Rosenallis to turn it over, and it's one of the point scorers, Shelley, coming forward, giving it to the run of Rory Fennell. Fennell giving it further on to Mark Dunn. Dunn getting away from the attentions of Hendy here, settling top of the D. Is he going to have a shot with his right foot, though? He telegraphed it a little bit too much, but it's picked up by Jackson. Jackson looking to get away from his hand being held. Jersey was pulled, falls to the ground. The referee says he fouled the ball. Don't know about that, Stephen Murphy. Definitely Jackson was fouled first if he did foul the ball. And I think the foul was the reason why he fouled the ball. But anyway, it's Bracknagh to come forward then with Dave Costello. Been impressed with the two Costellos in fairness, and they link up here again and trying to move this ball forward. And it's Dave that comes forward with it. Coming inside now. Shelley picking himself off the ground on the far side for Rosenallis. Peter Cunningham, chip lift with the right foot. Looking for a turn here. Jamie Sheridan. Have Bracknagh hit 3 in a row? No, they haven't, and it's gone to the left and wide. And again, their wide count continues to grow. That's up to 7 now for Bracknagh. So, kick out to come. 1-7-6, 9 minutes gone. Kick out comes from Barry Farrell. Ball is knocked down into the hands of number 4, Nicholas Dunn. Dunn giving it to Mark. So the Dunn's linking up, Nicholas to Mark. And of course another Dunn managing this Rosenallis team, but Robin Galbraith coming into this game now. Lovely little chip lift on the run. That's a fabulous bit of skin from Galbraith. Looking to get inside the attentions here now of the man wearing number 2, Fiacre Fennell. And he's still going, offloads the ball here now, giving it to Anthony Cunningham. Cunningham on the 20-metre line, elects to go backwards with it, all the way back out to Joe Costello. Costello coming inside, little bit of a shimmy, trying to get away there from the attentions of Cormac White. Though White holds him up, has to go backwards, gives it to Anthony Cunningham, the captain for Bracknagh. Shot with his right foot, but that was a terrible effort, you'd have to say, from Anthony Cunningham, and it's gone out to the right and wide. Kick out then at 1-7-6 with 10 minutes gone in the second half. So ball comes out to the middle where Bracknagh lose control of it, and it's picked up by Rosenallis. Colin Poole. Poole has 3 points to his name. Knocks the ball forward to Ronan Murray. Murray having to use a bit of soccer skills to maintain possession of that ball. Hits the deck. No fouls, says the referee. Allows the play to go on, and Peter Cunningham charging forward here. And then eventually the referee elects that Cunningham fouled the ball somehow. But surely the foul was originally back on Ronan Murray. 2 Bracknagh men fell on Ronan Murray as he was trying to control the ball. The referee allowed the play to continue, and then he penalised Peter Cunningham for something. And I don't know what he saw that Peter Cunningham did to penalise him. Now, Stephen Murphy has made a couple of indifferent decisions, you'd have to say, here today. But anyway, on the ball now is Killian Galali. He's 19 minutes away from possibly putting his hands on a provincial crown for his club. Tight quarters here, though, between himself and Cathal Fennell. Rosenallis lifting the ball forward. The referee says it was a throw. And poor decision making there now. And Rosenallis, player over on the far side, trying to say to the referee he put his hand behind it, but has to be close action, of course, as ball is crossfield here for Bracknagh. 1-7-6 now. Rosenallis continue to lead. Peter Cunningham over in the far corner here between the stand and Arden Road end, looking to get the ball into the hands of William Dowling. Dowling, though, foul, says the referee. And don't know by his actions what he's trying to say, but William Dowling looked like he turned into a fair challenge, but the referee says it's a free in for Bracknagh, and this should narrow the gap, and probably a better bit of play from Bracknagh in the last, say, 7 or 8 minutes here. Free going to be taken, is it by Brereton? And linesman coming in to Stephen Murphy to make him aware of something. Don't know what it is, but It's going to be a free anyway to Glenn Burton, who did quite well against Kilcullen in the semi-final. Steals a bit of ground. Dean Rock-esque. Left-footed. Oh, he doesn't catch it at all. Straight, a 20-metre free. Kicked it straight into the keeper's hands. Just slightly to the left. That would have suited him as such, but narrowing the angle didn't even work for him as moving it forward now. Killian Galali. Galali looking to give it off, and Mark Dunn charging forward. Referee telling the Bracknagh man to get up there after that, and Dunn is still going forward, right down the middle. No one's meeting him. He's on the top of the D, giving it off here to Ronan Murray. Murray popping the ball here to Jackson. Jackson, chance. Oh, ball is saved by the keeper. Jackson lets it out for the 65, I should say. The original shot coming in from Joseph Shelley. And Shelley went for, I'd say, a point, only it skewed off his boot. It dropped in front of Keith Keogh, and he had to save it as such. It wasn't a goal attempt, I don't think, from Jackson. And he knocked it out for a 65. And James Jackson was quite happy to see go out, or I should say 45. It's all these hurling commentaries in recent weeks, but out for a 45. Left footed ball, then be taken by Poole in around the middle. Ball is knocked down. It's going to be picked up by Bracknagh's William Dowling. Dowling coming out then, giving it to Dave Costello. Dave giving it to Darren Groom. Groom hits the deck. Looked like he was tripped, but referee didn't see it, and ball has moved on with Jim Hendy. Hendy from his own 45 knocks it to the other 45, but it's picked. Oh, near. He should have been picked up by the Bracknagh man, but he let it slip out the side of his off the side of his hip. Centre back there, Cormac White. He won't want to see that again. If a score comes out with this, is James Sheridan. Jamie Sheridan comes forward. Opportunity for Burton. Burton missed on the 20-metre free as he popped this over. No, into the keeper's hands again. This time he was further out, but that's too bad. Opportunity's gone for Burton there. Glenn Burton has a point to his name in the second half, but it remains 1-7-6. 44 minutes gone then. So 16 minutes of play remaining, and the Rosenallis crowd getting behind their men to get forward. And it's Colin Poole. Poole shoots off Anthony Cunningham's attentions, giving it inside to Mark Dunn. Dunn dropping deep, giving it to Nicholas Dunn. Nicholas over to Killian Galali into midfield now, giving it to Rory Fennell. Fennell giving it off to Murray. Ronan Murray then gives him a pass he wasn't expecting, but he gives it further out the field here to Shelley. Shelley then in control of the ball, giving it to Fiacre Fennell. Fennell with the shot, but it's into the keeper's hands, and there's 3 opportunities now that both teams have had, and they've all dropped into the keeper's hands. Emmett Gagan giving it across the field here to William Downing as Bracknagh attacked the Arden Road end and have hit the last 3 points, but not really advancing here in the latter few stages. And it's a foul by Mark Dunn on Dave Costello, and it's going to be a free out. Emma Kagan is going to take it with the referee. Is he going to book Mark Dunn? No, there's another change here coming in for Bracknagh. And it looks like a bit of a change in the forwards, is it? Number 23, Dylan Broderick. He replaces, is it Glenn Burton has gone off? Yeah, and it's, have to say, a fresh face, Dylan Broderick. He Burton hobbling off there a little bit. Maybe he extended himself there and trying to kick that point that dropped into the keeper's hands. Interesting comment we're hearing coming from the terraces. Commander Leaksman hit them hard, says a Bracknagh supporter. As moving the ball forward is Eddie Mather. Eddie Mather came in for Kieran McNeilis just around the halfway mark. As on the ball, Ronan Murray gives it to Mark Dunn. Rosenallis though are dealing with anything Bracknagh have to throw at them at the moment here. Coming inside now, gets away. Oh, lovely little turn inside Jason Dempsey. Turn him left and right. Still going. Pops the pass in here. Opportunity maybe for Brian Fitzpatrick. Takes it into the corner. Should have probably popped it with his left earlier. Cross the goal to Jackson. Jackson's on his own. Looking to lift it. Ball blocked down. Bracknagh though don't react to it quick enough. Picked up by Nicholas Dunn. Nicholas throws it back out here to Ronan Murray. Man on, says the crowd. But he gets away from the attentions there. The number 20, Eddie Mather. Still going. Ronan Murray was fouled originally. Referee allowed advantage, and it's going to be a free. Referee is also calling Emmett Gagan on something, is he? He's being called over actually by his linesman. And I think though you'd have to say Brian Fitzpatrick should have taken that point with his left foot. He was just about 10 metres out on the large parallelogram. Could have lifted it over with his left. Took it into a dark alley a little bit, and hauled back and kicked it across. So Emmet Gagan has been booked for the hit on Mark Dunn there earlier. And I think the linesman was just affirming that the referee had seen it. So now an opportunity here for Poole. And went to take the free, and the referee blew the whistle, so he stopped his run up and has to check himself. So 47 minutes gone. Could this be 1-8-6? Didn't connect with it too well. Ball drops in around the edge of the square. It's Jackson going down. That's a free in on the 13-metre line, and it'll suit Colin Poole with his left foot. Not a great free to give away. Jackson, with his back to goal, wasn't a danger. Should have been let maybe gain possession, but straight into the back by Anthony Cunningham. And it's a free that Poole will take with his left foot. And he's already got a point from play and a free in the first half. He's a point from play in the second half. Is he about to get a free as well? Left-footed up and over the bar. And that settles a bit of Rosenallis nerves to haven't scored in a while. 47 minutes gone then. They lead 1-8-6 here. And apart from those two opening scores and James Jackson in on 33, they hadn't scored in 14 minutes. And in the meantime, Bracknagh had hit them with a few points of their own. But kick out doesn't work out again for Bracknagh, and it's into the hands here of Rory Fennell, throwing it over to the far side to, it looks like Joseph Shelley. Shelley coming around the house though, being tracked by Peter Cunningham, has to play it along the ground back to Rory Fennell. Fennell picking it up 30 metres out from the Bracknagh goal. Shelley looking to step inside, throwing the ball further out here to Ronan Murray. Murray being told by Poole, even though he's 40 yards from, to slow the ball down a bit. Ball is kicked over here to Nicholas Dunn. Dunn going to have a shot. The corner back, maybe that's why he's a corner back, drops it into the keeper's hands on the edge of the square. Should have probably went dead because Bracknagh maintaining the ball, moving it forward here now. Cathal Fennell has lost out there to William Dowling, and Dowling goes down along the far side, giving it here to Dave Costello, throws it into his brother Joe. Joe skipping out, trying to get away now from the attentions of John Lennon and Shelley there as well. Ball is in the hands of Eddie Mather. Mather looking to come forward, kick the ball to Robin Galbraith. Galbraith goes for a shot. Oh, that's a fantastic score. Robin Galbraith spins it off the instep, up and over the bar. Cracking score, had even distance on it. He's kicked 2 fine points in this second half. One was on the run, chip lift into his hands and took it down and put it over the bar. And that one then just gaining possession from Joe Costello and turned and put it over the bar. Free, or I should say a substitution. It looks like number 17, Stephen McAvoy, is in for number 4, Nicholas Dunn. And I think a bit of fresh legs. I think Nicholas' race has been run a little bit. Probably was run about 10 minutes ago when he tried to race upfield to get onto a ball. So fresh legs in for Rosenallis. Ball knocked down though by Rosenallis, but it's looked like it was going to be Bracknagh to pick it up. But in fairness, Fiachra Fennell been very impressed with his play this afternoon, giving it and gives it off to his captain Gillally. Gillally has a shout further out from Cormac White. White over towards the dressing room entrance, gives it back to Gillally. Gillally is Shelley, if he wants to use him, steps back out around his men, does it twice, comes inside, very comfortable on the ball, I have to say, young Shelley. Giving it back here now to Cormac White. White across the field here to Marcus Redmond. Redmond might be full back, but he's advancing forward on the ball. Has McAvoy further out here if he wants. McAvoy catches the ball, just come in as a sub, steps inside very, very well. Full back Redmond is still going. He's now in danger territory, stepping around now, has to give it back to McAvoy. McAvoy to Poole. Poole has a bit of time. Oh, audacious effort. Oh, what a score. Colin Poole with the score of the game. In very, very little room, had to chip lifted with his left foot, outside of the left foot. Audacious effort, up and over the bar. What a score. A good score to win a Leinster final if you ever wanted one. 51 minutes gone. He's hit 3 in the second half. 1-9-7. And this game looks to be getting away from Bracknagh. Probably need a goal now as we kick into the last 10 minutes. But what a score from Colin Poole. Worth the admission price alone, I thought. Very, very little. Step back into the pocket a little bit. Ron O'Gara-esque. Outside the left foot though. He put it over the bar. Don't know whether O'Gara would have kicked the ball though over the bar with outside of his left foot. Ball is on the move though. It is Bracknagh in the hands here of Jason Dempsey. Dempsey moving it on further. Costello looking to step inside on his left foot. Back out he goes to Jim Hendy. Hendy getting around his man, still looking to advance forward. Look to have overplayed the ball. Ball is back out here. It's Joe Costello kicking it further on here. Mather kicking the ball back out. Joe Costello on the ball, right footed. Robert Barron knocking it in and knocking it to the right and wide. Another wide for Bracknagh. Thanks indeed, Mark. Just a wide there for Bracknagh. 1-9 to Rosenallis. 7 points to Bracknagh. At half-time, it was 1-4 to 4, and we were talking to you. They had just got a score. Well, they hit 3 then in quick succession, and they stretched the gap out before with scores from Colin Poole and also from James Jackson and Joseph Shelley. They were the scores that kicked on Rosenallis. It was a start that really Bracknagh needed. But Bracknagh then responded in kind and dominated the play. Robin Galbraith with a lovely chipped effort into his hands and then knocked it over the bar from 30 yards out. Definitely one of the scores of the game, and that was followed up as well by a point from Glenn Brereton. Brereton was subsequently then replaced, but Rosenallis then, with a free from Colin Poole, lifted and weathered the storm that was threatening from Bracknagh. And then a lovely score from Robin Galbraith looked to have narrowed the gap, but worth the admission price alone. Rosenallis moved the ball forward. It was a bit cumbersome in the move. Marcus Redmond and substitute Stephen McAvoy, who's just come in, moving the ball forward, but they looked more like defenders than forwards, and they were looking like they were getting into trouble. Colin Poole just stepped back a little bit out of the traffic and in a little bit of a pocket, very little backlift on the ball, about 35 metres out, spun the ball over the bar with the outside of his left foot. Mark, I have to say, it was worth being O'Connor Park to see that here today. 1-9 to 7. Here come Bracknagh. Ball is in the hands of Joe Costello. Throws it inside to the fresh-faced Dylan Broderick. Broderick back out here to Robert Byrne. Byrne has another shot at the goal. He's had one that he missed just as you hand it over. He's put that one over the bar. Good score from Bracknagh's point of view from Robert Byrne. 23 minutes gone here in the second half, so 53 in all. It is 1-9 to 8, but Bracknagh, you would think, need a major if they're to force something out of this game, Mark. So with 7 minutes remaining, maybe come back to me just on full time. It is Rosenallis who lead 1-9 to 8 points here. Kick out then to come after that opportunity. John Lennon has done his bit. He was moved more into the forwards in this second half, and he has been replaced there. Just waiting to identify the man that's come in for him. But John Lennon has been called ashore. It's 1-9 to 8 points. Bracknagh now coming forward, but it's well read there and well cut out. And in fairness, Rory Fennell has done a job on Peter Cunningham all day. Cunningham has been moved into the forwards and Fennell has followed him anywhere he's gone. Coming forward the ball. Foul eventually as he tried to offload it. And it is Killian Galali that would gladly hold on to this ball. Back chat from Bracknagh, and the ball has been moved forward into the Bracknagh half. Ronan Murray been very impressed with his performance today. Kicking the ball forward. Opportunity here. Here's McAvoy on the top of the D. There's an all-runner. There's a substitute just come on. That's some score for a sub. The two subs link up. The man is just on the field a matter of seconds. The wearing number 24, Joseph Keating with the score. That is a cracking effort. Quick fire hands between the two substitutes, Stephen McAvoy and Joseph Keating, to put the ball over the bar to make it 1-10 to 8. Rosenallis have one hand on the cup, but here come Bracknagh again, getting to their own 65 in the hands of Jason Dempsey. Dempsey has tried hard all afternoon out about it, and the two Costellos as well. They just haven't had the firepower up front. Coming forward with it now. Bracknagh, ball is offloaded. Looked to be an illegal hand pass, but the referee allowing it maybe because the man was on the ground when he played it. Ball is kicked in. Cunningham is on the end line. Tracked all the way by Fennell. Fennell kicks it away from Peter Cunningham. Going down on the ball and trying to win himself a free there. No free, says the referee. It's Rosenallis looking to build out from the back now. Through the hands to go. Ball is lost on the 20 metre line. Bracknagh pick it up. Matter settling on it, driving it in, but it's going to be picked up, falling as he does. Cathal Fennell looking to give it back to the goalkeeper. Barry Farrell just kicks it anywhere. Charged down it was, but Galali is there to pick it up. Giving it off now. Here's Rory Fennell. Rory Fennell went to kick it out, but his ball is blocked down there by Dylan Broderick. Ball is lofted in. It's terrible play from Bracknagh. They've had 3 opportunities in the last few stages to kick a point, and they haven't been able to do so from 20 metres out. Mark Dunn now. Looks like the boots are made of concrete out there at the moment. Probably cold as well, you'd have to say. And when the blood is not coursing to the toes, it's hard to kick that ball over the bar. 1-10 for Rosenallis, 8 for Bracknagh. 25 and a half minutes gone. Mark Dunn, the veteran of many a campaign, getting back there and helping out, giving it to Poole. Poole, who kicked one of the scores of the game and definitely one of the scores, I'd say, of the year here in O'Connor Park. Giving the ball off to Joseph Keating, who just kicked a lovely score, having been part of a move. Good, fresh, young legs coming in. Giving it on here to Ronan Murray. Murray's inside the D. Could this be the insurance score for Rosenallis? It's a cracking score from Rosenallis. Ronan Murray, definitely my man of the match for Rosenallis, has covered some amount of ground. He has. Joe Jackson, or James Jackson I should say, may have been the man of the day in the first half with 1-2, but Ronan Murray has covered some amount of ground, and in fairness, it's been a good tactic by Paddy Dunn. He must have been keeping Joseph Keating in under wraps for the last while. He's come on the field, he's kicked a point, and he set up another one in the few minutes he's been on. 1-11 to 8. It's now looks like near impossible for Bracknagh. Coming forward with this ball, Matter giving it over here to the number 10, Jamie Sheridan. Sheridan with another chance, dropping it in. Bracknagh now are hoping for the hope, knocking the ball in, but it's kept in play, and it's Rosenallis looking to build out. That ball ball looked like it was going wide, but Rosenallis looked to have a pep in their step here. Bracknagh are suffering at the moment. Ball has moved on. Would have been a great week to round off a Leinster title, having won the minor championship with combination Brockens last weekend, of course, after a 3-game saga. But it's not going to be Bracknagh's day, it would seem. A number of those guys would have been involved, I'm sure, in that Brockens minor team last week. Here comes the substitute again for Rosenallis. Joseph Keating gets the top of the D. There's a man inside. It's a 1-on-1. Here's to wrap it up. Oh, Rosenallis' shot. It's gone in. No, good save again from Keith Keogh. Bray Fitzpatrick still has it. Flicks it across the goal. It's a shot. It's gone out to the right, but it's a 45. Oh, all happening there. Brian Fitzpatrick in on Keith Keogh. Shot once, back off his legs. Shot twice, back off Keith Keogh's hands. Back out again. And it was the substitute, Joseph Keating, that lofted it. But it was touched by a Bracknagh hand out for a 45. Oh my God. Everything happening there. But what a pass by Joseph Keating to find Brian Fitzpatrick inside. And here goes Poole. Poole gives it to Jackson. Left-footed. He's kicked all with his right. Has he pulled that over the bar? No, he's out to the right and wide. Poor wide there, but in fairness to Rosenallis, that's their first wide of the second half. They've only hit 4 wides in all. Bracknagh, unfortunately, have hit 9, 111 to 8 points. Will those wides come back to haunt Bracknagh? It looks like they will. 28 minutes gone. 2 minutes away from the small little Laois parish of Rosenallis to claim the Leinster Junior title. It'll be the first Laois side to win it in 10 years when Park Rathniska were victorious against St. Ultans of Meath by 2-8 to 1-8 back in 2006. A Laois team hasn't competed in the final since, but it looks like Rosenallis are going to do it today as Bracknagh tried to move the ball over on the far side. Time running out. Can they manufacture something? Jason Dempsey taking the play, in fairness to Rosenallis all day. Gives it to Peter Cunningham. Cunningham with the shot. It's gone to the left and wide, is it? Referee says no. It's going to be a free. He's, don't know what he noticed, but he's awarded a free, I think. No, it's actually a 45. It looks like Peter Cunningham's shot there got a touch off a Rosenallis man, as I think Peter was actually not going for a point. He was trying to lob it towards the top corner of the nets, but it was flicked out and he takes it quickly. Plays it over here to Robert Barron giving it in to Eddie Matter. Matter lofting it in, but it's gone out to the right and wide. And Bracknagh's decision making, I have to say, at critical junctures has been poor. 10 wides, I have it now. And that maybe is a story in itself. 111 to 8. The Rosenallis crowd getting to their feet. The green and white. The white jerseys, the green sash. Mark Dunn getting a bit of attention from Jason Dempsey, but I think Dempsey now be better off forgetting about giving him any attention. It's done and dusted at this stage, you would feel. Ball out to the middle. Won by Dylan Broderick. Broderick right-footed. Plays it over here to the other sub Matter. Matter giving it off to the onrushing Anthony Cunningham. Cunningham lifting it forward to Broderick. Broderick now, they need goals. Points won't be enough for them. Ball is into the hands of Bracknagh. Here's Dempsey. Dempsey's inside on the edge of the square. Ball has fell to the ground. Shot, and it's gone to the right and wide. Another wide for Bracknagh. They just keep mounting, and as I said, I think they've gone for goals too early. Now it's all too late to be nearly going for points, and maybe if they'd knocked over a few points in the last 10 minutes, that could have been a difference. But Rosenallis have one hand on the trophy as another substitution is made. Bracknagh, the body language tells it all. They know it's probably done and dusted. And it looks like number 19 for Rosenallis, Donal Lawler, is in the game. He's replacing James Jackson. Jackson does a jig as he's going off the field. He reckons Rosenallis have done it. And it looks like Killian Galali will be the man coming up the steps here in O'Connor Park, Tullamore, to take the trophy. But don't count the chickens just yet. Into injury time. Anthony Cunningham on the ball. The captain of Bracknagh. Can he lead something? Eddie Mather giving it to centre-back Jim Hendy. He's not playing centre-back anymore. Lofting the ball in. But there's the big hands of William Dowling that wins that ball. I have to say he's had a big second half. Gives it to Ronan Murray. Back to Dowling. Dowling then giving it here to his centre, or I should say full-back Marcus Redmond. Redmond coming out with it. Giving it to Fennell. Fennell gives it to the man wearing number 19 that's just come in, Donal Lawler. Lawler hoofs it forward. Gives it to another substitute, Joseph Keating. Keating takes a lovely solo, getting away from Peter Cunningham, holding on to the ball. Don't need to do anything with it. Could buy a free as well if he wants, but he knocks the ball forward. Giving it on here a little bit further. Looks like it's Rory Fennell on the ball now. Giving it back to the substitute. They're playing Brazil. Keep ball with it. Ball over to the far side to McAvoy. McAvoy is a bit of attention there from, I should say, William Dowling. It's Cathal Fennell, I should have been saying. I was saying William Downing there, that winning that ball there for Rosenallis. It was Cathal Fennell, of course, back on the back line, winning that ball as it came in. But here come Bracknagh, turning the ball over. Opportunity to get inside Cathal Fennell there. Ball is turned back out. Giving it off again to Matter. Matter going to have a shot. It's a shot in hope. It's gone out for a 45. It's 31 and a half minutes gone. It's Rosenallis 111. Bracknagh 8 points. So, no doubt about it, the Fennell brothers have done their bit here this afternoon for Rosenallis as well, but Cathal Fennell, that was a big ball to win back there earlier on. Ball coming in there from Hendy with a shot. It's come off the post. Ball is in the net somehow for Bracknagh. I don't know how that came across. It was a shot in hope by Jim Hendy. It hit the post, bounced across Barry Farrell's goal, and practically standing on the goal line was the young man Dylan Broderick, and he's knocked the ball in with his foot to the back of the net, and now it's made it a bit spicy. It's 2 minutes of injury time. It's 111 to 1-8. Maybe just something that Bracknagh deserved, but it came out of absolutely nothing. He wasn't even a foot out from the line. Ball to the middle of the field. Won by Cunningham. This game could still be in the melting pot. Coming forward. 111 to 1-8. Bracknagh still charging. Cunningham with the shot. Ball is dropping in. It's a dangerous ball. Going to be a shot from Sheridan. Ball is blocked. Rosenallis on the ball. Poole is allowed to pick the ball out and come out with it. It's Mark Dunn. Dunn coming forward. There's only 2 Rosenallis men inside the Bracknagh half. Dunn has got to hold on to it, but he elects to kick because running out for it and winning the ball in possession looked like a Rosenallis man. Looked to be foul. There was the man wearing number 13, Joseph Shelley, was it? No, Brian Fitzpatrick, that was foul. Gagan, Bracknagh sensing something now. Coming forward, 33 minutes gone, driving it in, and ball has gone through the hands. Cunningham's on the edge of the square, looking to come out around the house a little bit. Has to throw the ball back out here. Going to be a shot coming in. Ball has gone in and out for a 45 again. Robert Barron with the shot. 45. Rosenallis need every man back now. Now all of a sudden, they're goalkeeper and the Rosenallis number 10 Brian Fitzpatrick inside the half, all back on the goal line now is where I'd be expecting the likes of the Fennells, Cathal and Rory, and also Mark Dunn. 45 comes here from the number 7 William Dowling of Bracknagh, dropping it in. Ball is flicked on. Referee, it's all over. It's all over. Rosenallis deserved it, there's no doubt about it. What a year it has been for them. They're going to be competing in the Leinster hurling semi-final next week, but they've won the Leinster Junior Football Championship title here this afternoon. Richly deserved. They led all the way. 111 to 1-8 it has finished here, Mark. Rosenallis have just claimed the Leinster Junior Football title on a final scoreline of 111 to 1-8. They had to live on their nerves a little bit in the closing stages because Dylan Broderick scored a goal that you'd probably score in your backyard at home a little bit. He was a metre, if even, from the goal line when the ball, after a speculative shot from Jim Hendy, hit the post and came across Barry Farrell's goal, and he just tapped it over the goal line. They tried to launch in another 45 after an attack broke down. They got a 45 from it, launched it in, but the ball was broken out by Rosenallis, and that is it. 111 to 1-8. What a year it has been for Rosenallis, and what an afternoon here, no doubt about it as well. But they had leaders all over the field here. The Fennell brothers definitely stood up. Colin Poole, James Jackson, but Amanda definitely stood up for me, went through a Trojan amount of work and got a lovely score with about 5 minutes remaining, was Ronan Murray. But they definitely pulled a rabbit out of the hat, there's no doubt about it, in the closing stages. They introduced Joseph Keating. Keating made a hell of a difference for Rosenallis. He kicked the point just 30 seconds after coming on, lifted another little bit of a siege that Bracknagh were throwing on him, and then he set up Ronan Murray for that point, and that made a bit of a difference. The gap was just too big. Bracknagh's 11 wides was also a bit of a factor here this afternoon, there's no doubt about it, Mark. But Rosenallis, what a year, what a day. Leinster Junior Football champions for the first time, the first Laois team to do it since Bracknagh did it back in 2006 when they won that day by 2-8 to 1-8 against St. Ultan's. Bracknagh, I would imagine, were favourites coming into this game, had basically rode roughshod over every team that they had played in the Leinster Championship, scoring high totals as well. But in fairness, it looks like Rosenallis had their homework done. Paddy Dunn, Kenny Farrell, Mick McAvoy and Tom Flanagan, they'll have to take kudos for the way they set themselves up here. Weren't ultra defensive, but definitely did a job on some of the key players for Bracknagh here this afternoon. And, Bracknagh had to resort to kicking for scores that probably weren't on. Rosenallis, though, were very effective, only hit 4 wides, and every opportunity effectively that came their way, they took it. And the goal, I suppose, set them underway after 15 minutes from James Jackson, a very good team goal with the Rory Fennell involved. Joseph Shelley also in there there was C-Fennell, who came forward from corner back to be involved to set up John Lennon, eventually to Mark Dunn, to Ronan Murray, who was to force it on to James Jackson into the back of the net. But Colin Poole probably will stand out with 5 points, 3 of them come from play. James Jackson hit a goal and three of the points coming from frees. There was points from Joseph Shelley, Ronan Murray as well, and Joseph Keating, who came on as sub. For Bracknagh, the Costello brothers, they'll have to hold their head high. They definitely took it as much as possible. Robin Galbraith, what a second half he had, but it was all too little too late when the goal was knocked in by Dylan Broderick. A good week that started off for St. Brockens with the minor title secured here last weekend. Unfortunately, hasn't ended well for them here with the Bracknagh end of that combination losing out here in the AIB Leinster Junior Club football final on a full-time score mark. Rosenallis 111, Bracknagh 1-8.
Corner line, Boatlow, Cogorgigus, Fungoyer and Conclair Brassport ruling you. First of all, congratulations to both teams on a splendid game of football. I want to thank Offaly County Board and the staff for Conor Park for having the pitch in such excellent condition. To our referee, Stephen Murphy, and his officials, and to our sponsors, AIB, for the wonderful coverage. Congratulations to Bracknagh. You know, it's a wonderful year for you in winning the Offaly Intermediate Football Championship and a great achievement in reaching today's final. Unfortunately for you, you were beaten by a better team, and I want to congratulate Rosenallis and the Leinster Junior Football Championship. It's been a marvellous year for Rosenallis in winning the Laois Junior Football Championship, Laois Intermediate Hurling Championship, and have still in the Leinster Junior Hurling Championship. I want to wish you every success now as you go on to represent Laois and Leinster in the All-Ireland Series. So now it gives me great pleasure to present the Leinster Junior Cup to Killian Connolly, captain of the Rosenallis team.
And what a great moment there for Killian Connolly and a great bunch of lads there as he raises the cup there for Rosenallis. And we wish them all the best in their future endeavours there in the football and the hurling. And win, lose or draw, I tell you one thing, they're after doing a county proud and a village proud as well.
Never thought I'd make 2 speeches in 1 year, but I'm glad that happened now. First of all, I'd like to thank Bracknagh Gaels for a tremendous match. The best team we've met this year by far. Fine young team, plenty of great players, and I've no doubt we'll get that senior rank in Offaly next year, so round of applause for Bracknagh. I'd like to thank our fans most of all. Without you, none of this is possible or none of it's worthwhile. See such great crowd down there in the clear say, it's a huge help, so just a huge round of applause for you. Thanks very much. I'd like to thank our sponsors, WR Shaw, our physio, all of them there throughout the year for the continued support, and hopefully we wait for the next year. Thanks very much. Most of all, I'd like to thank the management team of Tommy, Kenny, Paddy and Mick. Because their commitment off the field reflects the results on the field, you know. There's wives spending their day after the wedding in a Moore Park, you know, it's a commitment you don't see everywhere, so a huge round of applause. Without them, none of this is possible. Thanks very much. And last but not least, the lads standing in here behind me. You know, there's 25 plus lads there pushing all year since January. Probably be January by the time we finish up again this year, so. No, thanks very much, lads. And see you back in the village.
I suppose we were optimistic as well, but we knew it was going to be a tough game. And, Have to win in the end.
Yeah, you got a good few scores out there yourself, few nice frees there.
I missed a few as well. So they all balanced out.
They all balanced out well. As you think on overall this year for Rosenallis football and hurling, do you think it is a great achievement, isn't it?
Sure, it'll never be done again. Like, well, winning the double, probably win the double Leinster. Hopefully they'll go on and win the hurling. They'll go on and go to London and see what happens.
Hopefully. Go over there and show them how to play.
Yeah.
That's right now. We're photographed. Paddy, what did you think of today's performance?
Absolutely mind blowing. Words can't describe what that group of players are. And it doesn't just stop at 1 to 15, it's 1 to 30, whatever we have. They're just absolutely phenomenal group of players. And we had confidence. No one else may have had confidence in us coming over here. And what I got all week was, you done great to get there. If you don't do it, it was a great achievement. Bollocks to that. People coming in here to fucking win, and that's fucking what we done. We dominated that game from the first minute to 60 minutes, and that showed it. They got a run at us for the first 15 minutes each half. But we were always comfortable. I was very confident in.
You did. You came back well. You came back well. So you did. At the start of the year, when you were starting out, did you ever think that this team would reach as far as they've gotten?
At the start of the year, our main aim was to break a Rosenallis hungry that was there for the last 21 years. That was to get into a fucking junior final. Possibly, once we got to the junior final, Bracknagh were favourites. But we were confident. We were confident to get in the county final. Now today's a special day. We never imagined, going into Leinster, we didn't imagine that we would be contesting the junior final because we didn't know the opposition or what the opposition was like. But once we got through the Meath champions, once we got through the West Meath champion, the lads, each performance was better and better and better and better. And I'll never forget Timmy. Timmy came after the Stradbally game in Port, and he says that performance was atrocious. We were, after being drafted in, brand new group of players. We'd won the 21B previously, the previous year. We were drafted in. We had to bring a new style of play to the lads. It was going to take time. But from the Stradbally game, and we progressively got better and better.
You got stronger and stronger as game went on.
Yeah, and that just showed today. That was the pinnacle of fucking all performances today. And that will go down in a long, long time in the history of fucking Rosenallis.
Indeed it will, and it'll go down in the history of County Laois as well. Yeah. It's a great performance, and I think it's a fantastic achievement for such a young group of players there, and whatever, and yourselves to come this far. Sure, your thoughts on what do you think now? We're from here, Paddy.
Why not? Mention the word All Ireland. Why not? You know?
Edinburgh anyway.
Well,
Edinburgh anyway.
I'd say they couldn't need 2 planes that were panel that we'll have flying over that. I'd say you'll have lads coming out of the Woodbrook and training in the next few weeks, I'd say, to come back onto that.
Oh, indeed you will, but sure enough.
We might have 30 lads going, but
you could have 60 lads coming back.
We mightn't have fucking anyone coming back.
I'm standing here with the mighty Killian Killally, the captain of the Rosenallis team. Killian, start of the year, what was your thoughts? What did you think?
Well, the start of the year, I always had an ambition to go on and win the county, but to win Leinster, you know, it's unexplainable really. It's unbelievable.
It's a fair achievement.
Yeah, to walk up the steps of O'Moore Park as well as O'Connor Park in 1 year, it's not done that often, so to do it is just an incredible achievement.
It's not. Your own thoughts on today's performance?
I thought it was a very good performance by us, you know, we controlled the game really. They never really got on top of us, and even when they had 2 or 3 points spell, we were always at 2 or 3 points ahead of them. I thought we controlled it, we deserved to win. You know, there can be no doubt really about the final.
They got a fluky one there
in the end. Should have won by 6 points. They got a fluky goal, but listen, that happens. I suppose how we react, and we reacted well this game. So we deserved to win, I think.
You deserved it, and well done, and congratulations on that. Your thoughts on, you think you'll do the All-Ireland?
Or just take it one step at a time, so as we've got overseas mission to complete now, as said already, so...
You're going to invade. How the tides have turned, huh?
No, we'll just take it one step at a time. Hurling focus on now next weekend. So
one step at a time, I suppose.
That's it, that's fair. But sure, look, well done and fair dues to you. And I tell you, you're a great bunch of lads, and I have to say, you're a credit to the county team and every young person that looks up to you, and even every old person that looks at you as well.